Camaraderie this week and made some very, very good new friendships. And you know, it was definitely very sad that we lost one of our fellow golfers, one of your teammates this year. We've come up with an award to just celebrate the life of Billy, and I think if I were to pass, and when my time comes, if I were to do it at a golf tournament, I would be sad that I would leave my friends in that light, but what a way to go. I mean, what a way to go. So in his honor, we've created an award, and it was the Billy Cairns Camaraderie Award. And so each team has put together a vote tonight, offering the other team as a camaraderie award. And we had a very, very close decision between.
They were just.
And you were, excuse me before I go any further, you were all fabulous. But the shining lights.
So there's two gentlemen that missed it by one vote, but I want to give special recognition because I got a chance to spend a lot of time with these two, and it was Derek and John Reardon. They finished basically tied second in this vote. The gentleman that did get the most votes, only by one, but he did a fantastic job this week, Mr. Mike Jones.
Mikey.
Thank you.
Just there for those.
Speech.
You don't cry.
I'm not going to do a speech.
Beth, I've got it.
Because I received a message tonight from Brett Lang. I know a lot of you but I want to read it out because it typifies what we're all here about. I just want to read, I've saved it because it's really important. This guy had MS. He said he'd given up. We got in contact through Facebook, we messaged each other, inspired each other, played golf. The guy's playing again. I met him in St. Andrews. We're brothers.
Yeah, we met him this year.
In Orlando.
In Orlando, great guy.
And this is,
we've all become friends with him, most of us in this room.
and this is what he wrote to me tonight, and this is for everyone here. Congratulations to all the participants for representing adaptive golf on the world stage. Yet moreover, a staggering amount of inner fortitude by the European team for overcoming such a devastating loss. Billy. This victorious chant was heard around the world and allowed these fine gentlemen to gel into a family that would not be denied. Well done, mates. Cheers to all of you. But that's but I couldn't do it without the wives, the partners, my teammates, and the captains, and everyone at home that's been supporting us.
The breakfast
and
club.
you guys.
Picture in the middle of the campus.
Mark Scott. Yeah. Beth, you go as well. To Mark.
Oh no,
please.
I don't know.
Please.
Hey, get your hand up higher.
Stand up. No.
I want nine.
Wives and supporters, when it all went off earlier on in the week, without you lot here, seriously, the thing would have imploded. We all needed you. Thank you. Now coming to the event, you know, it's no secret, there's been lots of heated words. Let's just leave it at that, because I will tell you, the best round of golf I've had this week was me and this guy playing on a weekend, when I learned so much about him. He's passionate, he now knows I'm passionate, and you will. I didn't tell you on day one, there will be arguments, there will be hassles. He wanted to win, I did. But what I will tell you is, he's got the right attitude to where golf's going. I can't do it, I'm too old now. I can give him support, and all I will. And I'm sure he'll tell you, despite what you might have seen, oh God, the winner, this man will now be a friend for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
We come from a country that when we have a vote, we don't think it counts. The Scots have a vote and think it's once in a generation and they can have it the next week. Johnson. And I will tell you, we had 11 names. I could pull the mention twice, but if I've got 11 names, I'm not going round on the alternative vote system. So the only vote that mattered was me and my mate here. And I've got to say, everybody I've played with, shit, Dan, well Dan didn't play, but forget that. I've had 3 games that were unbelievable, and today I played with a young lad. Well, everybody's young to me.
No shit.
I want to be a friend with this for the rest of his life because he plays the game in the right attitude. He's a fine golfer, but you know what? He's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
Tracy were having our little love-hate relationship. His 2 vice captains were unbelievable. And when everything was going off, you were all hitting balls on the range, we were going, these 2 were brilliant.
There you go.
So I can't write this many names on here. So we have decided, I'm sorry, it might be boring, we are giving this to Team USA.
My bit will be fairly sweet, I hope, and short. There's obviously a little bit of repetition here because obviously some of the guys have already mentioned it. I think it's important to highlight a lot of people. Special thanks from us in Team Europe was good to the United States Adaptive Golf Alliance and everyone involved with that. That's where things all, I think, particularly started and got generated. So our thanks go to them. And we hope that from the few meetings that we've had during the last 3 or 4 days, that will develop and grow stronger throughout not only the United States and our end of Europe, but the rest of the world. There's lots of plans laid down, ideas thrown forward, and we'll certainly want to carry those through. The second thank you I would like to say is directed at Team Europe. There's not one person that I'm about to mention, hopefully I remember everybody, hasn't contributed something, not just in the last 4 or 5 days, but bringing in sponsors, bringing in just ideas, throwing in a comment or a criticism that's hopefully generated this event, this result, and things that will move ahead and develop in the future. So, but I'd also like to mention Billy's Babes. That being Elizabeth Horst, who is soon to be sober.
Her face matches her body.
And of course, Vivian Hillen, Morag Milne, and Beth Whitcomb Jones.
The ladies, yeah.
So of course there's also 2 more Billy's Babes, although perhaps there might be Billy's Bitches.
Oh.
Dean Ellis and Norrie Ross.
Ouch.
And
How are you getting home
I
tonight?
may so.
It's a long walk.
It's a
However,
long walk.
and of course, our players, Frank Sober, Mike Jones, Gareth McNeely, Trevor Hillen. I'm sure it is. John Irvin, John Reardon, my co-captain. What's your name again?
He said,
Stop moving about. Ian Halliwell, and of course Kevin Booth, and from our Scottish contingent, Jerry Clifford, Jim Thompson, Derek Milne, Ian Ross, and Billy Cairns. I've been asked to do 2 things. One I'm quite happy to do, one I'm not so happy about. But the first one is actually a brief overview of the Phoenix Cup, because there's been quite a lot of changes in the Phoenix Cup recently. But we started, it was actually never called the Phoenix Cup originally, it was called I think it was a Six Nations Cup. And that started in Canada, and 6 local Indian tribes, if we're allowed to call them that nowadays. If we talk to them, they call themselves Indian tribes, but politics being what it is. However, they sponsored the whole event for us. We had something like 28 players from 14, 15 nations around the world who travelled to Canada. Everything was in place, and then one guy from the Indian tribe qualified for the Olympics. Unfortunately, he took all the funding from us and gave it all to him. We've never heard of him since. We had to then go and basically start from scratch. So that's where the name came in. And a couple of us guys in Scotland and a few guys in Toronto, Glenn Babcock, who I know some of you know here, got together and brought everything together for those guys from all the countries like Australia, South Africa, many parts of Europe, the States and Canada. And that's where everything started from. Since then, we've done a few different versions of the Ryder Cup Solheim type events, and we've even done something like this, but with 4 teams. My God, that was a headache. The following year it got even worse, because we had 18 countries with 4 players from each. I'll not be doing that again. And it went on. So this year, in the past, we've actually had lots of different types of Ryder Solheim type events. So what we've done this year is we've brought them all together under one banner, because originally this was advertised as the 10th Phoenix Cup. But we've brought them all together under one banner, the Phoenix Cup. So I think there's about 16 or 17 different types of versions. Next year, it's going to be down in England, in Yorkshire. And as Ian's already stolen me thunder a little bit, but this is the outfit that the team will be wearing.
No, it's just such a, a nice little trophy, and it's the Jim Gales MBE Cup, and the SDGCA and TSG Phoenix Pan Disability International Trophy. We've all fought and battled for this, this week, and sure we're going to get a trophy at the end of the day.
They'll be back.
which is great, but any which way you look at it, we're all winners for being here this week. Your team was outstanding this week, and what gentlemen. And it was just a pleasure and an honor to have you and everyone in this room here this week doing this. And it's a big deal. I think everybody in this room feels that. And I see a lot of tears on the greens today, win, lose, or draw. And it means a lot to compete, but it means even more to have our new friendships. And I just think you guys were outstanding, and here's the trophy, and we'll be coming very hard next time after that. And it was a pleasure.
Yeah.